Hello friends, today's story is going to shake your mind. Yes, today I am going to tell you about an incident that remains a mystery even after almost 90 years. A man was found murdered inside a locked hotel room, and the circumstances were so bizarre that even today, no one can say for sure whether it was a murder or suicide. But if it was a murder, then who did it and why? And if it was suicide, how was it even possible? Because the entire setting of the case suggests something totally unexpected. So, sit tight because today, we are diving deep into one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries, the case of room 1046 at the President Hotel in Kansas City, USA. But before that, if you love untold mysteries and strange cases, don't forget to like this video and let me know in the comments what you think really happened. Now, let's get started. It all started on January 2, 1935, a cold Saturday. A young man walked into the reception of the President Hotel in Kansas City. He introduced himself as Roland T. Owen and requested a room for one night. Nothing strange so far, right? But here's where things take a turn. Unlike most guests who request rooms with a nice view, he specifically asked for an inner room on the upper floors, a room with no windows facing the outside. Strange, right? The hotel staff found it odd but still gave him room 1046. A bellboy named Probst accompanied him to his room. But guess what? Roland had barely any luggage, just a toothbrush, a comb, and a tube of toothpaste. Who checks into a hotel with almost nothing? After settling in, Roland asked the bellboy to leave the door unlocked because a friend would be visiting him soon. The staff noted that Roland looked worried and anxious. He had a deep scar on his head and his ears were strangely deformed, like those of a boxer or wrestler. Later that day, a maid named Mary entered room 1046 to clean. She was startled to see that the room was completely dark, except for a dim lamp, and Roland was sitting silently in the corner, lost in thought. When she greeted him, he responded with short, robotic answers, as if something heavy was on his mind. Before she left, he repeatedly told her to leave the door unlocked because someone was going to visit. That evening, when Mary returned to clean the room again, she overheard a strange phone conversation. Roland was talking to someone named Don and said, "I'll wait for you for 15 more minutes. Please come soon." But who was Don? And why was Roland so desperate to meet him? That night, a taxi driver claimed that he picked up a half-naked man from outside the President Hotel. The man was angry and mumbling, repeatedly saying, "I will kill him tomorrow." But who was this man? And who was he talking about? Another strange thing happened the same night. A woman living in room 108 reported hearing loud arguments from a nearby room. She believed a man and a woman were fighting. But what's even more bizarre is that, on the same night, a call girl arrived at the hotel, saying she was called to room 1049 but couldn't find her client. She roamed between the 9th and 10th floors, looking frustrated. Was she connected to Roland's fate? On the morning of January 4, 1935, the hotel staff noticed that the telephone in room 1046 was disconnected. A bellboy was sent to check, but when he knocked, a weak voice from inside said, "Come in." The bellboy tried to open the door, but it was locked from inside. After several attempts, he gave up and left. But when the phone remained disconnected, another staff member entered using a master key. What he saw inside shocked him to his core. Roland was lying naked on the bed, covered in blood. His wrists and ankles were tied, and a telephone cord was wrapped tightly around his neck. He had been stabbed multiple times, and his head was brutally beaten. Yet, he was still alive. When asked who had done this to him, Roland muttered one final sentence. "Nobody did this. I did it myself." Then he lost consciousness and was rushed to the hospital, where he later died. The police launched a full-scale investigation, but they couldn't find a single trace of Roland T. Owen's real identity. His name did not exist anywhere in public records. No family members came forward to claim his body. It was like he never existed. Then, a year later, a woman named Ruby came forward, claiming that Roland was actually her missing 17-year-old son, Artemis Ogletree. She said he had left home in 1934 and was in contact with her through letters. But here's where it gets creepy. Even after his death, Ruby kept receiving letters from him, but they were typed, not handwritten. So, who was sending those letters? There could be some possible theories like Don was the killer. Roland mentioned Don multiple times. Was Don his friend, enemy, or criminal associate? The mysterious woman and the call girl, the woman heard arguing, the call girl who kept wandering between floors, could they have been involved? A secret organization. Some believe Roland was part of an underground crime syndicate, and his murder was an organized hit. A double life. Was Roland running from something? Was he living under a fake identity? Despite decades of investigations, this case remains unsolved. Who killed Roland? Was Don real? What happened in that locked room? Even today, the case of Room 1046 is one of America's most chilling mysteries. What do you think happened? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want more crazy mystery stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.